Hi guys, welcome to this new tutorial. So this is a quick one to make everything ready for our demo, and therefore we're going to prepare the JSON files that we'll need to post in Postman when we interact with our blockchain to exchange some cryptocurrencies. So we'll have actually two JSON files to make, one JSON file that will contain all the addresses of the nodes, and one of the JSON file that will contain the format of a transaction. We'll prepare the right format with the right three keys, sender, receiver, and amount, so that we'll get something ready to post in Postman. And also what we'll do in this pre-final tutorial is get our servers ready. And to do this, we'll make actually 3 Python files. Each of them will be connected to a different port, one port for me, one port for Kirill, and one port for you. So I will be on port 5001, Kirill will be on port 5002, and you will be on port 5003. And you'll see in the demo, I will send a lot of hat coins to Kirill and even more hat coins to you. So let's do all this in this tutorial so that we'll be 100% ready in the next tutorial for the demo. Alright, so first of all, let's make the JSON files. And we're going to start with the JSON file for the nodes. And so very simply, to create this JSON file, we'll go to the top here in Python. You click on File, you then click on New File. There we go. And here you select everything and delete. And we're going to save that. So I'm pressing the shortcut CMD or Ctrl+S to save. Here I'm in the right folder, that is module 2 create a cryptocurrency. And now just before we give a name to our file, well, we are going to change the type of this file because the JSON file is not a Python file but a JSON file. So sorry you cannot see here because it's out of the screen, but I'm selecting it right now. You should be able to find it. JSON files, you select this, and there we go, we can change the name now. And we're going to choose the following name, nodes, very simply because in this JSON file we're going to register the addresses of the nodes we want to have in our decentralized blockchain. So if you're ready, nodes, all good, let's press save. Okay, and now we're about to implement our very first JSON file, which will be used for our very first post in Postman. So you'll see it's going to be very simple. To make a JSON file, you need to start with brackets. And now we're going to press enter twice because we're going to put the key and the value of the key in the center of these brackets. But before we input them, make sure to press tab, and then you can enter the name of the key and then the value of the key. So now the question is, what keys do we have for our nodes JSON file? Well, remember there is only one key, which is the nodes key. And remember that is the key that contains the addresses of all the nodes we should have in the network. So that's the key, and now colon, and here we enter the value of this key. And the value, as we just said, is the list of the different addresses of the nodes we want to have in our network. And so, as I said at the beginning of this tutorial, we're going to have 3 nodes, one node for me, one node for Kirill, and one node for you. And so we need to input 3 addresses, which we can differentiate with 3 different ports. And these ports are going to be port 5001 for me, port 5002 for Kirill, and port 5003 for you. So let's do this. Let's input these addresses in this list. And remember, the addresses are the following: http://127.0.0.1. That's the main URL that the nodes will be sharing. And then we need to add the port. And so as we said, we're going to have 3 ports starting from 5001 and then 5002 and then 5003. All right, so that's the first address. And now I just added a comma because we're going to enter the other addresses, 2 more. So I'm copying this. Then here, let's press enter. Let's align at the right level here. All right, then let's paste. This is our second address. So, same URL here, but then a different port, 5002. So that's the address for Kirill. And finally, one address for you. There we go. And you will have port 5003. Perfect. And that's done. That's our JSON file for the node. As you see, it's very simple. Now we're going to save it. And we're going to move on to the next JSON file, which is the file for the transaction. So we're going to do exactly the same. We're going to go to File at the top. Then we're going to click on New File. And then we're going to select this and remove this. Then save. Then here, let's not forget to select the right type, which is JSON. JSON files, and then we're going to give a name here which will be transaction and not transactions, because we just add one transaction at a time. All right, and then we can click on save. All good. Now we're ready to implement this transaction JSON file. So now please press pause on the video and try to make this transaction yourself before I do it. I'm going to do it now. So of course we start with brackets, then double enter, and inside we input our 3 keys after pressing tab. So the first key is the sender, then the second key is the receiver, and then the third key is the amount of AdCoins exchanged between the sender and the receiver. And more specifically, this is the amount of AdCoins that the sender sends to the receiver. All right, and now, so as I told you, this is just going to be a prepared format, which means that so far for the values, we'll simply enter some quotes here and here as well, and the amount doesn't get a string, so we'll just put a space here and we'll enter a number, for example, 10. And then you'll see when we post a transaction in Postman, well, what we'll do is we'll select all this, we'll copy it, and we'll paste it in Postman to input the right values for the sender, the receiver, and the amount, and then we'll click on send or press enter to send a request to add a new transaction. But this is just to prepare the format of a transaction. However, for the nodes, we already entered the value for the nodes key. Okay, so our JSON files are ready. And so now, just to finish this tutorial, and then we'll be 100% ready for the demo, is we will prepare the 3 Python files which will represent our servers to kick off our blockchain. So our blockchain will be a decentralized network of 3 nodes. And so basically what we're about to do now is get these nodes ready. So I'm not going to modify this because this is our final code, final implementation. So let's save it for now without any further modification. And therefore we're going to make 3 new files. One new file here, a second one, and a third new file. And we're going to copy paste the AdCoin implementation inside each of them. And we will replace what needs to be replaced. That is, first the port. So here, this is my node, so we'll be on port 5001. And the request to mine a new block is okay because the receiver is Adlan, so that's all good. So I'm going to save this file and I'm going to call it AdCoin node 5001. All right, so this will be my node. Now let's get Kirill's node ready. This is going to be this one. Selecting all this, pasting, and Kirill will be on port 5002. And here to mine a block, well, the receiver will no longer be Adlan, but Kirill. Okay, let's save that and let's replace it by AdCoin node 5002. Perfect, Kirill nodes is ready. And now let's get your node ready. So again, selecting all this, pasting, you'll be on port 5003. And here, when you mine a block, the receiver will no longer be Adlan or Kirill, it will be you. All right, let's save it. There we go. Here, you can just select this to be more efficient. And you'll be on port 5003. Save. All good, port 5003. Let's check if everything's okay. Here, port 5001, Adlan. Here, port 5002, Kirill. And eventually, port 5003, you. All right, and now we're all good, 100% ready. So let's smash this in the next tutorial.